Testing. Come. Shalom. Okay, finally working time. Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all glory, honors, and praises to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahushai, by Hashem, Rasach, Wadash. I want to give double honors to the apostles and elders of the Great Millstone, because that's where I learned this truth from. I want to give double honors to all the other elders teaching this light doctrine, the doctrine of Yahushai, the Wadi Yah by Hashem Yahushai, giving us that non-stop energy, because look what's going. Day by day, more prophecy is going forth. Brothers is getting stronger. Brothers will keep pushing forward. Sounding off that trumpet, because what's going on? Everything, we are at the end. It is manifest, and we're going to continuously push forth and do what we need to do at the Lord, because it's the Spirit is speaking. It's speaking, showing, dividing people, causing all these things. Now families are getting divided, because look what's happening. The Lord is putting the Spirit on men, and they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. So this is what the Lord said. He did this. All this destruction that's coming forth, everything that's going, the Lord is pushing forth that trumpet. And so you see every day these people going to a harlot house right now. Well, man, the wisdom is right here. So let's get to it, because we see the prophecies on this earth, and we see everything. And the Lord said, if it be done, let me grab it. This is Amos, chapter 3, verse 6. Salaki, that's bothering me. Verse 6. Shall a trumpet be blown in the city, and the people... Actually, let's get it. Because this is all, we're talking about, we're talking to Israel, so let's just go up. But we don't get into that. Shalom, Yahweh, Yahweh, Shem, Yahshua, Shalom. This is Amos chapter 3, verse 4. Will a lion roar in the forest when he has no prey? Will a young lion cry out of his den if he has not taken nothing? Can a bird fall in a snare upon the earth, where is no grin from him? Shall one take a snare from the earth and have taken nothing at all? So this is what the Lord is putting forth these prophecies. Shalom Shamgar, Yahweh Shem Yahshua Brakatah. So the Lord's putting forth these prophecies, and He's causing this thing that's coming on the earth. He's making forth these trumpets, these plagues that are putting forth the earth. The Lord is doing it. He's putting the strength of His power on this earth, and He's visiting the place where He made. So we're going to go into Revelation, the 5th chapter, because those trumpets and our deliverance is coming in. So let's just get a little, they say context. This is, shall a trumpet be blown in the city, and the people not be afraid? So shall these trumpets and these prophecies that the Lord put forth, that told His man to blow that trumpet when he sees these things coming, because the enemy's coming like a flood, and we're going to blow the trumpet that show, and these angels are blowing the trumpet, putting these plagues upon the earth and causing misery to the heathen and all the proud, and making us rejoice. And shall they do it when you hear of the alarm system? You see the tornado alarms. And I used to live in Iowa, and when a tornado launches, people will hear it, and they go instantly in that little cellar or whatever, their basement, hiding and all that stuff. When it's close, they hear these alarms. But now when the Lord is putting forth one, like a couple of weeks ago, I think last week, the elder did a lesson on it. There was a lesson of these alarms that are going forth the entire earth. being telling them that the alarm is telling that you got to get forth and find shelter. And where are you going to find that shelter? In the Lord. He is that shield and that buckler. He's that our shelter. Let me grab that. This is the Song of David, chapter 18, Songs chapter 18, verse 2. The Lord is my rock and my fortress. So when you hear an alarm, a system, tornado, all that stuff, you go and get cover from your house or from something that's very sturdy. That rock, that because when the stuff is sturdy and perfect for national disasters, they're usually something solid like concrete and rock, but we have that perfect rock. And we have the perfect building to hide from these plagues, from the trumpets. And my God, my strength, who I will trust, my buckler and the horn of my salvation. Strength of my salvation, my high tower. So the Lord is going to be that place that we're going to find when these trumpets go, while we standing upon him, that Spirit of the Lord blowing these trumpets, and then we're in a safe place. We're in that safe haven of the Lord that is going to protect us. Because he has angels, these spiritual bodyguards coming around us, protecting us from every evil. We're going to get into that because the Lord is going to deliver us from 6 troubles even then. So continuous, Amos chapter 6, Amos chapter 3, verse 6, continuing, shall there be evil in the city, bad times. So bad times show all this thing that's coming forth, because the Lord is bringing these. He's causing these injuries and causing this judgment and causing all these stains on the earth. And he's doing it. If you don't believe it, then you are shit out of luck, because you're probably one on the list. Hey, what's up? And the Lord has not done it. So you see that the Lord's doing it. And shall it be evil and destruction? Look at what the Lord said. So all these people that don't understand what the Lord is about, he is a balanced power. And when he puts these alarms, he's saying that danger's coming. When these angels are putting these trumpets on this earth, danger is coming. This is Deuteronomy chapter 32, verse 39. See now that even I am he, and this is the Lord. And we got to do it because, the Lord's voice is like a trumpet on his own, that Israel can even hear it. They were scared. They said, come on, Moses. And these men on these highways and hedges, those are like spiritual Moses, being able to hear the word through Yahushua, because we can't go to the Lord, but through Yahushua, hearing it on this high mountain, seeing the terrible things that he's about to do to these wicked people and to these nations. And our people don't want to hear it. They say, you go up there and just give us the interpretation and don't listen. But this is Israel, and they're going to be judged for it if they don't come to this alarm system. So you hear an alarm system when somebody, what is it called? When those hurricanes or the tsunamis come in, you come and go and shelter. You go in and shelter and hide. But now these alarm systems are going daily. These prophecies, these plagues, all these stuff. And what do? You just sit by and let it happen. I kill and I make alive. I wound and I heal. Look at this. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand. So the Lord's doing it to do something. He's separating who's for him. And you can't escape. It is no escape. Judgment is going to go forth. And if you're scared, that's your problem. That's your problem. And no one is going to be able to deliver. You can't cleave onto someone, because there's a lot of people that are trying with their dry ass wicks, trying to come to other brothers because they're not doing the work, and they're trying to cleave onto him. Maybe I can get some of his spirit. But that's not going to happen. You gotta find that fortress, and that's the name of the Lord. And how to get it is to continuously go towards the highways and hedges, continuously read, continuously pray to the Lord. But ultimately, those are the ones that he's going to save anyway. So if you don't got it, you're going to be seen in the spirit that you don't got it. So Lord willing, I got it. Damn it. Look at that. Because no one can deliver out of his hand. So if the Lord chooses you to be destroyed, That's what's going to happen. That evil is to split forth and to be, you're like back in the day. You see how they used to kill when a unlistening son, a son that doesn't listen, they would go out into the congregation and all of them would stone them. All of the elders and everyone would stone them to make sure that Israel knows that this is what happens when you're a wicked servant, a wicked son. So that's what's going to happen. This evil is getting put forth to the Lord to make a standard. And so these nations know who the Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushai is. Because a lot of strange and horrible things is about to happen on this earth. Because the Lord is sounding an alarm. Because this is what, going back into that Moses, like we're spiritual Moses or Elijah, they would have to come, and they weren't coming into the Lord proud. They weren't coming, hey, you go and turn and try to listen behind them. Because that's what those people with those dry ass wits are doing. No, you have to come with the Lord in fear, bold, because you hear someone, a voice that's so loud it's crumbling the mountains, causing thunder, burning the mountains, and you have to go face to face. And we have Yahushai as that thing. So look, why I'm putting that, this is verse 7. Surely the Lord God will do nothing, but he revealeth his secrets unto the servants, his prophets, because they're blowing the alarm. Let me get something. For war, that alarm. This is Joel chapter 2, verse 1. Blow ye the trumpet in Zion, and sound the alarm, my holy mountain. So he gives these secrets unto the servants and prophets so they can blow the alarm. They can, and then also the angels. Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble. Let them be scared. Let them know that danger is coming. Get that salvation. Get to your fortress, which is to our people the Lord's name. The Lord and his, because he is our fortress, he is our shield, he is our shelter. We got a shelter in place, a true shelter, with the name, starting with the name, which is Yahweh and Yahushai. And let all the inhabitants of the land tremble, for the day of the Lord is coming, for it is nigh at hand. It is here. It is nigh at hand. It's so close that you can visualize, you can see it. Now, see, back in the day, they were scoffing, but now everyone can see it. It's like, man, judgment is really about to happen. It's about to be a lot of death. Well, Lord, and this is people, let me store food, let me do this. Well, you're not in the right shelter. You're like the three little pigs. As Esau Edom, because that's the Lord's whooping stick, he's blowing the mountain down. And the Lord's using these angels to put these destroying winds. So what kind of house are you building your things on? Are you going to be on stick? Are you going to be on freaking hay? Because a lot of you people, they're not doing the work, being deceitful, lording over. You building your house over stick. The ones that don't have the name using Yahweh, not Yahushai, but Jesus Christ. The one that doesn't know what MOTB. Those, that's hay. Because these people in the world, they're building their house and they're going to be blown and be devoured instantly, like a sheep to a slaughter. But we're building it on brick, and not just any brick, the Lord's name. So it's probably better and stronger than diamond. It's otherworldly. It's a metal that you never heard of. Building a house like that, a strong foundation. Let me grab something. Bear with me. What's up, dude? This is Salakia. This is Mark chapter 4. Salakia, wrong one. This is Matthew's. I'm going to do it this one. I like it in Mark. This is Matthew's chapter 7, verse 25. going to start at, bear with me, I'm going to start up. Verse 24. This is Matthew chapter 7, verse 24. Therefore, whosoever heareth these sayings of mine and doeth them, I will liken to a wise man. A wise man. So they hear the alarm. They're seeing the danger. The destroying winds are coming. They're seeing that the wolf is coming. The eagle, because we're helpless out here. We need our help. He says they're seeing that coming, and they say they're going to hear these words. They're going to be able and be able to continue to go forth and fix it stuff. You know, like keep fixing, because we can always get better. You're never going to be perfect. You got to just search for that perfect, because that perfection is going to come when the Lord changes our bodies. When the Lord puts his Son in glory. And doeth them, I will liken unto him a wise man which buildeth his house upon a rock. And that rock, that foundation, the throne of David, which is Yahushua, is going to sit forth the names and then this doctrine, this correct doctrine that the Lord put forth throughout all the earth, giving it towards men. That's those wise men. And everyone that heareth these sayings of mine and doeth them not, they shall be likened unto a foolish man which buildeth about his house upon sand. Just like Las Vegas, they had a huge issue when they first built it, because they mafiosos. They always try to cut corners and do anything. Or like, what else? A lot of these cities that they start when they were first building, they built upon sand. So that's why you've seen a lot of the hotels, they would shrink. They may not shrink, they would sink. And the foundation, they would be able to be blown down fast. But if you put your house on a strong foundation, like nowadays, most houses you see that they have to lay down the foundation before they do anything. Because you can build the best, most sturdiest house ever. It can be made out of steel. But the foundation is going to sink. And then when something happens, a lot of water dudes just move around, and you just wasted your money. So you building on these, don't have these doctrine, or doing the royal laws of being brotherly love and respecting your brother, doing all these things. Then what's going to happen? You don't have that strong foundation. Because ultimately, the strong foundation is the Lord's name, and being able to be rebuked and be understand these things. And the wind descended, and the floods came, and the wind blew and beat upon the house, and it fell, and great was the fall of it. And it came to pass, Yahushua ended his saying, and the people were astonished at this doctrine. So when these storm and these things happen on those wise men, the house is not going to fall over. They're going to be able to survive that storm. But the ones that are on the sand, they're going to be blown apart. They're going to be moved to and fro, getting in all these issues, because it's a dangerous time coming. Look what's happening. It is going to be a time like no other. This is... What the hell? I don't have that in there either. Salakia. That just comes a lot, so let me grab it in this too. Like it's 27 and it just skips. See? I don't have it in that Bible either. Let me grab it in this. And you can tell when the scriptures that are like, that you need to know, because when you read it a lot, they're out of your Bible. They're out of your sword. This is Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 7. Alas, for the day is great, so that none is like it, even the time of Jacob's trouble. So it is great, like no time other. So look at all these horrible, destructive times that the black bubonic plague. What happened? They say upwards of like 100 million people died. The Spanish American I don't want to say it, but FLU, that disease, when that happened, they said upwards of 100 million people. Look at all that stuff. Look what happened just in a low-end war, like World War II, because this is going to be way worse than World War III. This third world, just alone of the Russians, Gog and Magog, they lost 100 million people after the war, because they only lost about like 15, but Stalin was murdering a lot of people. It's going to be worse than that. It's going to be worse than that. It's going to be worse than the time in Rome when our people had been chased and was getting eaten by lions. It's going to be worse than that. Even a time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. Who is going to be saved out of it? Those ones that are found on stone. The wise men. Those wise virgins. Let me grab that. This is Matthew chapter 25, and we're going to get into it. You already know, they say bring forth the context, because this is a dangerous time to come. Prophecy is everywhere. Salaki, I'm just waiting for the little. This is Matthew chapter 25, verse 1. And then the kingdom of heaven is being like a hidden merchants, which took the lamp, these are the lamp have that light, that understanding with that oil. And what is that oil? This truth and understanding. And how do you you have to be able to have the oil. And how do you get the oil? By doing this work, by continuously going forth, preaching it, and being wise about it, knowing how much you have left, knowing how do you conserve it. And how we conserve it is we continue to be in this work. We continue to read. We continue to do all that stuff because we knew about that we were wise and we knew that it was time happening. So we rationed. We continuously went forth and did what we need to do, get more oil at the time when it was, because, inflation's about to come with these. That's why the man of the Lord is going to be like gold upon these people, like gold and Ophir upon, because they're going to be able, the only ones that are going to be seeing this darkness. Especially when the actual darkness comes, when the Lord puts that plague on this earth, when he puts straight, the blackout here, what are you going to do? How are you going to see? Well, without a lamp. And went forth to meet the bridegroom. 5 of them were wise and 5 were foolish. They that were wise took their lamps and took no oil. Salakia. They that were wise was 5 and fool. They that were foolish took their lamps and took no oil with them. So they were just bullshitting. They're not doing anything. And then now they won't have no oil. Then the foolish took their lamps and took no oil. But the wise took oil in their vessels with that lamp. By studying to show themselves approved, showing the Lord that they love. Getting this word in them, because wisdom and knowledge is going to be the stability in your time. So if you don't know what's going to happen, how are you going to be delivered? What are you going to do? God, let me see fucking freezing. But the wise, while the bridegroom tarried, which he's not tarrying, but it's not to your liking. It's not to your liking. It took longer than you expected. So you didn't took no extra thing. You didn't take these knowledge. You didn't do your lessons. You didn't go on the highways and hedges. It's like you take 2 months up just waiting so you can get closer to other brothers. And so you can just, hey, let me get your oil. And the wise took oil in their vessels and with their lamps, and the bridegroom tarried, but they all slumbered and slept. At midnight, when that day of the Lord came, there was a cry made, behold, the bridegroom cometh, and ye go out to meet him. Then those virgins arose and trimmed their lamps. Getting their ways, trimming them continuously, getting better. Because when you trim your lamp, like it's getting burnt, so you get in it so the light can be brighter. It can be brighter. So you're just taking all these wicked things upon you, getting better and better to that perfect day. And that light also is bringing you. And the Salakia. And the foolish said unto the wise, give us your oil, for our lamps are gone out. So you can tell, it's like, you don't do a lesson until you are grouped up with someone. Or you're doing one lesson, and then you're just doing 3 group lessons. and you can't do it because you run out of steam. You weren't working hard enough. You were doing something else. But he answered, saying, not so. Let there be not enough for us and you, but ye rather that sell and buy for yourself. But it will be too late. So let's get this, continue in it, because I didn't even finish it. This is again Amos chapter 3, verse 8. And the lion has roared and will not fear. And the Lord God has spoken, who can but prophesy? So he spoke. What else is to do? What else is to do on this earth? You see all these prophecies. Why are you not going out and speaking the truth? Why are you not doing lessons? Why are you not trying to get better? Because the Lord spoke. Who can do nothing but tell what's going to happen if you're a prophet? Who everyone's seeing this, even these people in the world. So they're seeing that danger and stuff is coming. So why wouldn't you tell people? Why wouldn't you? So let's get into it. This is Revelations chapter 5. No, this is Revelations chapter 8. Let me get that. And when he had opened the 7 seals, there was silence in heaven about the space of half an hour. And I saw 7 angels stood before God. To them were given 7 trumpets. These plagues, these dangers, these things, those perils that are coming on the earth. These plagues. Let me grab that. What is it? Oh wait, bear with me. I'm gonna read down and then I grab a precept. And then another angel came and stood at the altar, having a golden censer, and were given unto him a much incense, and they should offer with the prayers of all the saints unto the golden offers which were before the throne. And a smoke of the incense which came were prayers of the saints ascending before God and of the angel's hand. So what are they praying about? What are they crying? Because these plagues are going forth, these earth, these destructions, and all these things happen, these troubles. Who you like it, because the Lord's going to deliver us. We don't get that in Job, the 5th chapter. But let me grab these prayers, because the Lord is, the elect are praying for help and all that stuff. Let me just grab it. This is Ezekiel chapter 9, verse 4. And the Lord said unto him, go through the midst of the city and through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark on the foreheads of the men that sigh and cry for all the abominations that are done upon the earth. The Lord for deliverance, for help, to take this place down. This is a sweet savor unto the Lord. And they pierce the clouds. And these angels are hearing it, and they're dropping these things that he has put in forth. These destructions, these troubles. And there were voices, thundering, lightning, and earthquakes. Why are they saying it? Because when that last plague that we're going to be delivered and all these destructions, there's going to be World War III. And there's going to be ICBM missiles hitting. Now the earthquakes, that's these missiles. Let me grab it. Because I'll just grab it in there. So I'm going to grab too many things. It's Isaiah the 29 chapter, but I'll just grab it here. And I have my little notebook with my IDs and all that stuff, but it just disappeared. So I gotta get a new ID, all my notebooks. So this is what Shalom Malak La'ab, Yahba Shim al Shar Brakatah, Shalom Ashrakah, Yahba Shim al Shar Brakatah, and Shalom Yakanayim, So Slakia, man. Salakia, King. Yahba Shimei Shah Brakatah. Slakia, I had a busy day, so I usually don't like doing out late. And I was looking for something all day, and I was like, man, might as well. That brother, Amawan Yasharala, really boosted me up. And then all brothers. Yep. So this is Isaiah chapter 24, verse 20. And the earth shall reel to and fro like a drunkard, and shall be removed like a cottage, and the transgressions therefore shall be heavy upon it, and it shall fall and not rise. Because when these ICBM missiles destroy this destroying mountain, let me grab something. This is Isaiah chapter 13, verse 4. And the noise of the multitude mounted like as a great people, a tremendous noise of the kingdom of nations gathered together. And the Lord of hosts mustered the host of battle, because there's war. These things, that last thing that's going to happen is all these nations are going to shoot upon Babylon the Great. And they shall come from a far country, from the end of heaven, even the Lord and his weapons of his indignation. What is that? Those weapons of his indignation, which is the ICBM missiles, which is a part of the Lord's army. It's going to destroy this place and destroy the whole land. Howl ye, for the day of the Lord is at hand, and it shall come as a destruction from the Almighty. Therefore shall all the hands be faint, and every man's heart shall melt. So if you're not in that fortress, which is the Lord, then and didn't build your house upon that rock, and became foolish and put it on sand, not having that foundation, not knowing the name, not being a true brother, not doing what the Lord has said. When these winds come and this destruction and the trumpet comes, you're going to be destroyed in this place. Therefore, all the hands shall be faint, and every man's heart shall melt. So it don't matter how many guns you got. It don't matter if you've seen war or all this stuff. You're a mighty man. You're gonna be destroyed. You're gonna cry. You're gonna poop yourself. You're gonna be crying. You're running like, oh Lord help me, Lord help me. No, and you're just gonna melt. So a lot of you are gonna die when you see it coming, and you're gonna have a heart attack if you're not built on that thing. If you're a foolish version, or you're that hard to be rebuked. If you're not doing the truth and doing what the Lord has put forth, your heart is gonna melt, no matter what. And they shall be afraid. Pains and sorrow shall take hold of them. Because even we're going to be scared. The ones that are doing and making their, calling their election sure, they shall be scarcely saved. Let me grab that. This is 1 Peter chapter 4, verse 18. And this just be, Satan be trying to hard and do everything possible. But he ain't taking no win. Satan not taking no more wins now. They're going to only take L's from now on. The Lord is making this house strong, and we're going to continuously go forth, and we're going to continuously fight. This is the Lord's house now. The Wada Yahba Shimei Shah. This is 1 Peter chapter 4, verse 18. I'm going to start at 17. For the time has come that judgment must begin at the house of the Lord, on the house of God. So all these foolish virgins, all these inhabitants, they're trying to cling on to brother, not doing what church. But now you're trying to, they're not doing anything, trying to get their oil, just trying to, if I'm bossing around some certain brothers, then I'm gonna be able to be saved. No, that's why the Lord is gonna start at the house of the Lord, because he has to make a separation on who's the man of the Lord, who's the ones that are going to be that light in that day, who's the ones that will be that golden of Ophir. That's because if you're not, and you're going to lead them down to destruction, and that's only the Lord lets it. And if it first begins at us, what shall be the end of them that obey not the gospel? So all these worldly people, man, you guys got a whole thing coming. I don't even know why. You just might as well. Man, if I was you, Lord willing, you guys are about to be destroyed. The Esau Edom you through. You might as well. You might do without you. Have a great time. Get drunk. Do all as much as possible. You heathen. If you smart enough, and you got a virgin daughter, you might as well get to your other country and make sure they're ready when they get taken and become a concubine to the Lord, so they can clean floors and do all that stuff in our house. And verse 18, if the righteous scarcely be saved, what shall the ungodly and the sinner appear? So these sinners and these ones that are not doing you are going to be destroyed. So you think that you can have 75 guns, but you only got 2 hands, and you never did training for any guns. You were just being wicked all your life. Oh, the water for getting it. You was being kind. Yeah, that's the spirit. Yeah, Bashimi outside Brakatha. And that's crazy because you haven't been training. Like, a lot of people have 100 guns, but they're obese. They probably say they can clean it. But remember that shooting guns, you don't have to understand, like, even they do a statistic on SWAT when they're in a time in a line of duty when stress is getting happen, because that's when crunch time is. They have a 30% accuracy rate. So you're obese, or you smoke weed, or you do all this shit, you're not gonna be a sharpshooter. Come on, especially in those times, you're just gonna be destroyed. That gun is gonna be used for you to put it in your mouth and what's the rest. Wherefore, let them that suffer according to the will of God commit to the keeping of their souls to him well-doing as unto the faithful creature. So the ones that are doing the right thing, let them be committed on the keeping of their souls. And how are you doing that? Study to show yourself approved. Because that knowledge and stability is going to be that's going to be the stability of the time. Being able to know the name of the Lord, to know some prayers, to make sure that you continuously pray, continuously be about in the trouble. So because what do you think you're gonna be like? Oh, what is this? This is precept. What precept when the shit's happening? No, it's gonna have to be in your mind. It's gonna have to be in your mind. And if you're not studying and you're not showing yourself approved, what the hell you think is gonna happen? The Lord is gonna say you didn't do nothing. You made it harder for other brothers. You were just trying to lord over them or doing all that stuff. And then the Lord's going to deliver you. So in that time that you know that you just a good for nothing nigga, and you're going to make it hard for the ones that were doing stuff. The Lord's going to take you out fast as hell. This is Revelation chapter 8, verse 6. And the 7 angels, which as the 7 trumpets, prepared themselves to sound. And the first angel sounded and followed. And these are 7 trumpets. Let me just grab it. This is the guy. I haven't got it yet. I'm gonna start up a little bit, just because this is going to help you be able to get better. This is Job chapter 5 verse 17. Happy is the man whom God corrected. So when a brother gets on you and corrects you, happy is it, because that's when God is getting it. That's how he corrects you. He corrects you by man. Or happy are the ones that you can get it, not when you have to get millions and millions of counsels, and then you get put off in the middle of the nowhere and not do anything, and then come back worse and worse, because the ones that harden your neck, the Lord is just going to destroy you. Therefore, despise not the chastening of the Lord. We're going to get into that a little bit too. Despise it not. Be happy. It's like, Fawada Yahweh Shimi outside. Oh man, I didn't know I was doing that. I didn't know I was going on. Because if you were, like, imagine, in the war times, if you were getting gunfire and someone tells you, hey, your head is a little bit too high, you better put it down or you're going to get sniped. And you'd be like, no, I need to do that. You do that hard in your neck. And when you get your head blasted off, but you're going to be like, oh, you're going to go, thank you, man. I didn't know I was looking that stupid. So you got to look at it that you're in a war. You have to be in that fortress. And only how you can be in the fortress is to be able to listen to that army. For he that maketh sore and bindeth up, he is wounded, and his hands are made whole by the Lord. He shall deliver thee in 6 troubles. And this is what these trumpets are, these destructions that the angels are putting forth on this earth. The Lord is going to deliver us from all of these. And 7, there no evils can be touch us. Why does he say 7, no evil? Because we're going to be delivered in between the 6 and the 7. Because when the 7 happens, that's when the destruction is happening on Babylon the Great. And that last trump, what's going to happen? Let me grab it. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 51. Behold, I show you a mystery. And how you get that mystery? By abounding in this truth. The Lord gives the mysteries. That's what we started, Amos, the 3rd chapter. We started in... Oh, Salakia, let me grab these precepts. My bad, I was ignoring the comment board. Salakia, Kings. This is Proverbs chapter 18, verse 10, from the brother Malach La'ab. The name of the Lord is a strong tower, and the righteous runneth to it, and is saved. And a prudent man foreseeth the evil, and hide himself from it. Oh, these are 2 different scriptures, but these are beautiful. The Salakia, King. But this is, the name of the Lord is a strong tower. That's how you're gonna be delivered. That's who's gonna be protected. The name of the Lord, knowing the name of the Lord, knowing that He's the only how you're gonna be delivered out of this place. The only how you're gonna be protected is being and doing. And you can't know the name of the Lord and have the respect of the Lord if you're not doing what He's saying. You don't just call His name. Like, yeah, I know. Like, you know, in the world, people be using name dropping. Like, yeah, I know. I kind of know Tupac. I kind of do that. But when the guy tells you, he's like, I don't know this guy. Because if you knew his name and you understand and you were with him, you would listen to what he said. And the righteous run into it and is saved. Proverbs chapter 22, verse 3. A prudent man foreseeth the evil, and hideth himself. That's what it is. A prudent man foreseeth the evil. So he's going to see, man, he hear the alarm, these trump, and all these things happen, and they're like, man, what can I do to be protected? And he's going to be prudent, so he's going to be well to his sins. He's going to look around, and what could I do? The only how I'm going to be able to be saved if he's actually prudent, he's actually not simple, believing what everyone said. He said the only how we don't get out of this trouble and get away from these evils is come to the Lord. And how do you come to the Lord? You got to do what He says. You got to pray upon Him, and when He puts that Spirit on you, you got to do this work. You got to get better, because it's not just about doing the work. It's also about being brotherly, taking rebuke, doing all these things to get better and trimming till you are that perfect lamp in the end of the days. And you have to have the oil. But the simple pass on and are punished. So the simple ones, they're just like, man, I see it happening, but if I have positive thoughts, you know, I hate when people, those are the worst kind of people, because that obviously is witchcraft, is that positive thoughts. Well, the only positive thoughts is the kingdom. Those are the real positive thoughts, because those are the things that are going to happen. But negative, you're actually thinking, you're just foolish. You're just like, you're not going to do anything. Just thinking about something, thought, it's action. You have to put forth action. But the simple pass on and are punished. So the Lord is going to destroy you because of that. This is Proverbs, from the brother Malach La'ab. Proverbs chapter 3, verse 13. Happy is the man that findeth wisdom, So he's going to be happy. He's going to be like, yeah, well, I found it, because Israel been searching for knowledge and understanding all this time. And we're going to finish that. Let me just grab something. Salakia, I'm running out of daylight. I would move, but they're gonna fucking bug out if I do. Bear, I might move a little bit over. I'll wait a little bit. This is, I'm gonna move over, Salakia Kings. Bear with me. Yes, you're good. I'm gonna grab my other file. That stuff should be fine over there. This is Romans chapter 11, verse 7. What then? Israel have not attained that which he is seeking for, but the election has attained it. So that's why he says, happy is a man that findeth understanding. Because you already know, everyone, especially the men in the truth, or especially this is what the biggest thing of why people take themselves out and all that stuff. They're trying to find themselves. And we actually find and when you find yourself, that know that you are an Israelite, that you are a God of this earth, that you are the king of everything, which is like through the nations, because we are joint heirs with Yahushua. So this is our earth. This is us. That you're God's chosen people. That you're the best upon the earth. But when we find that, you found it, and you find that when you start getting this truth, you know what what is it called? The purpose of life, which is Ecclesiastes, the 12th chapter. Fear of the Lord and keep his commandments. That's what it is. You find it. And so that's why it says, happy is the man that findeth wisdom, and the man that getteth understanding. He's like, man. But then what do? Why are the other ones? They're not happy because they get out of the congregation. They go and stop. Let me grab that. This is Proverbs chapter 20. This is Proverbs chapter 21, verse 16. The man that wander out of the way of understanding shall remain in the congregation of the dead. So the ones that come and find it, and happy is he, and then they leave it and go back into the world because they never actually had it. Let me continue in it. This is Romans chapter 7, verse 11, verse 7. What then? Has Israel not attained which he has he seek for? But the election has attained it, and the rest were blinded. So they went and they got blind. They had it, and the Lord blinded them because they were being slothful, or they never actually had it. They seen and they found who they were, and it was like, nah, I want to go back and I want to go back to Islam, or I think Christianity is more my speed. And they come and they get destroyed. So grab that precept from that brother, from the Yakamoy, Salakia, if I get it. Then shall they call upon, this is Proverbs chapter 1, verse 28. because they do this and they never were in it. They go back in the congregation of the dead, or they don't do what the Lord has told them. They continue to go forth, being wicked, trying to get worse and worse and worse. And then they see it that, man, they getting worse. They try to take the oil that the people that were working for it, and they try to get them and follow them. But when that last trump comes, or even before that, you're going to be destroyed. And this is, then shall they call upon me, Proverbs 1 verse 28, but I will not answer them, and they shall seek me early, but they shall not find me. That's what's not going to happen. The ones that will scoff at it, put their hand down saying, oh man, this is not for me, or the ones that went back in the world, or the ones that were blinded. Then they're going to crawl. They probably kind of know the name, or it's going to be the worst ones that everyone has heard this truth. Because that's what the Lord said. Everyone is going to hear this truth. But the ones that looked at it and thought it was just folly, they was like, oh, those are the ones that are going to try to find the Lord early, as soon as they get judged, as soon as they have a choice of eat my kid, or it's a lion outside, and we don't have no food, and I got to go out and face him. It's like, Lord, just give me the strength to do it. That's what they're going to be saying. But the Lord is going to laugh at your calamity. He's going to look at it like, come on. Con, let me grab that. This is Proverbs chapter 26, verse 11 from the Moila, Shalakia, brother. This is, as a dog returns to his vomit, so a fool return to his folly. They come back and do, first they start and they were in the world, they probably were in the, and then they get this understanding, and then they start abounding in it, they start doing, and then they just fell out. And they go back right to what they started from. So it's like, man, I was smoking weed before. Now, but they get worse. They get worse and worse. Then they're completely bugged out. They were in music. They went to music. They were a music or artist before that. And then now they're like, they look like Little Uzi Vert. Or they look like, had blonde hair like Trippie Redd and people like that. That's what happened. They go straight back to the folly that they went into. Because a dog returneth into his vomit. But let me finish that last trump verse, because we're going to deliver right before it. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 51. Behold, I show you a mystery. We shall not all sleep. And that's a hard thing for people to believe. Not everyone's going to die. People still be like, everyone's going to die someday. That's the biggest stumbling block on this earth. That they say everybody's going to die someday. Everybody's going to die someday. That's what everyone says. That's not in the truth. You have to have that faith that the Lord's going to keep his promise. He said 6 troubles. Let me grab it again. First Job chapter 5, verse 19. And he shall deliver thee in 6 troubles. Ye in 7 there shall no evil touch me. That last trumpet, why is it not going to touch me? Because this is going to happen. You're not going to die. It's not going to touch you because this is going to happen. But we shall be changed in a moment and in the twinkling of the eye. At the last trump, when all this plague that's going forth this earth, going against these people, let me grab it. This is Zechariah chapter 14, verse 12. And this shall be the plague wherein the Lord shall smite the people that have fought against Jerusalem. Their flesh shall be consumed away. That last plague, that last trump, these ICBM missiles shall be consumed away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume in their oaths. So the Lord is going to deliver us from all these other things, but no evil is going to touch us because we're going to be going in a twinkle of an eye But then you see what this sounds like. People are getting melted upon their feet, getting destroyed, getting into all these situations, shattered away into dust. And then those chariots are going to also come in and evaporate people. He's going to be looking. The angels are going to have fun. Because when you used to play that video game, aliens or humans must die. It was like the Alien, and you were controlling, you can zap people. It's like that old school game on PlayStation 2, I believe. It's like that. It was sick, and you wanted to get as much bodies. And when you play Grand Theft Auto, when I used to play Grand Theft Auto, I would aim for people. I would look for certain people because if people play missions, I used to just get all the cheat codes and see how long you can have, how many stars you can get. So that's what the angels are jades. They're going to have the same thing. Let me get that one. Let me get that. Evaporating people. And consume in their feet and their hosts, and their tongues shall consume away in their mouths. Salakia, I dropped it. So continuing. In the last, and in the moment, in the tinkling of an eye, tinkling in their eye, and the last trump, for the trumpet shall sound, and the dead shall rise again, incorruptible, and we shall be all changed. And let me grab that in there, because 2 Thessalonians. And it was like some of these Christian bug out people be saying that's talking about Donald Trump. No, it's not. Look at Satan. The other brothers put that on it because it's not loading on I think it's Thessalonians. Let me just check that. Fucking Satan. The 4th chapter. Let me just grab it. It's at the end, I believe. Pissing me off, man. Can't figure it out. I'm trying to figure it out. Let me just bear with me. Kind of, if a brother finds it, you can just put it on Salakia. But in the last, they're going to be changed. And that's when we're going to get our spiritual bodies, and we're going to be able to have that spiritual power. So that's get back into it. I didn't finish Job, the 5th chapter. This is Job chapter 5. Verse 19. Again, and he shall deliver thee in 6 troubles, ye, and 7 there shall no evil touch thee. In famine he shall redeem thee from death. and in war from the power of the sword. So all these things the Lord's going to deliver us. And then right when that last trump, that's when we're going to be called and be changed and be in that chamber. Let me grab it. This is Revelation chapter 15, verse 1. And I saw another sign in heaven, great and marvelous, and 7 angels having 7 last plagues. So the trump, just as it. Shalom, Amawan, Yabashim al-Shai, Amawan, Yashawala. Man, Salakia, I'm having a brain fart right now. I had a long day, Salakia. But the water for the preach, I was looking for it, couldn't figure it out. Man, that's where it is. This is the water king, Yabashim al-Shai, Brakatah. But, yeah, man, I had a long day, Salakia. I'm gonna learn your name. I'm Salakia, King. Yakamoy. Our brothers always hear it. I always hear Shangar always say it too. I'm really bad at pronouncing. So this is 1 Thessalonians chapter 4, verse 16. For the Lord himself shall descend from the heaven with a shout, and with a voice as a voice, is gonna come as a shout, and you're gonna hear it throughout the sky. Say, "Come out of her, my people." Because when that destruction's coming, and that call, we're gonna be going to that chamber. That chamber, I hide in that chamber, and it with the voice of an archangel and the trump of God. When that last one, because we're going to be delivered in between the 6th and the 7th trumpet. And the dead in Mashiach shall rise first. Bam, those ones that will stand stiffly towards the Lord and were martyrs and were killed, and the ones that are now in the spirit war now. The ones that died in this truth. The ones that had these problems. I even have a brother, and I love the brother, and he died in the truth, even as young as I had. But that brother died in the truth, and he was a strong man, and he was strong day by day until the end. And then we which are alive remain shall be caught up together in a twinkling of an eye. We're going to be, see the strangeness of our salvation. Between that, see it within the clouds to meet the Lord in the air, and so shall we ever be with the Lord. Bam. God. This is Revelation chapter 15, verse 2. And I saw that as it were a sea of glass. Bam, like when you see Babylon the Great, when we get caught, because only with their eye. Let me grab it. Just grab it in this. I just want to get in it. It's kind of dark right now, I'm not going to lie. This is Psalm chapter 91. And we'll start a little bit on the top. This is Psalm 91 verse 1. And he that dwelleth in the secret places of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. And the brother Nathan, what is he? That's his page. And that shadow of the Almighty. And how do you know that strong tower? You have to know his name. So, and I will say of the Lord, he is my refuge and my fortress, my God will I trust. So just as we were going in, when the trumpet sounds and you hear an alarm system, when a storm is coming, you get into a safe and sturdy building. And the only building that's going to be able to happen these destroying winds is the Lord, the man of the Lord, and you have to use his name, and you have to be with one of his people, because it's a invitation only to get in that fortress. You have to be with him from beginning. Just like Drake said, no new friends to Yahushua. It's only the ones that was his friends, from the ones that knew him. So, I'm going to just drop down to the point. In verse 8, and only with thy eyes shall thou behold and see the award of the wicked. So when we see that mingle of glass, we see, dang, look at This place is through. And them that have gotten the victory, this is again a Slakia, Revelation chapter 15, verse 2. And them that have gotten the victory over the beast, and over his image, and over his mark, and over the number of his name, which is the ones that, and is not an image of Caesar, it's not an embargo, it's not marrying white women, it's that charagma, and the image of that image of him is his philosophies, pushing forth his wickedness of being that what you see on this earth, like that men can be with men, women can be with women, that everything's love, that Esau Edom is a great guy. No, that's his image, that their God. There's a demon right here. If he touches my stuff, I'm gonna have to fuck him up. But and stand on that sea of glass, having the harps of the God, because we're going to be singing the Song of Moses. So everyone's saying, but what does the Song of Moses says? We were singing that we have the heathen in subjection. That's what we're going to sing. And we're going to be singing, holy is the Lord, our King. And anyone that doesn't like it, Lord is going to. Luke 19 and 27. Look at that. So let me just finish this off, because it's getting a little dark. This is Revelation chapter 8. And the first angel sounded, and followed hell, and fire mingled with blood. And why does it say fire and hell? Because what does those missiles look like when you're seeing a vision thousands of years before you knew what a freaking missile was? Slocky, let me grab this real quick. Sloppy King. Some people are sketchy. I want to take my scooter. This is Revelation chapter 8, verse 7, and follow hair and fire mingle. So when you see those that's what it's going to look like. It's looking, if you didn't know what missiles, we know what they are. But telling the people back in the day, hell, like things, heavy, giant things that are coming from the sky with fire upon them. Think that in your eye. That's the missiles coming upon this place and destroying it. And we're going to see it with our eyes if you're in that fortress. And blood. And they shall cast upon the earth, and the third part of trees are burnt up, and all the grass is burnt. And why did they say the third part? Because there's three classifications of men. It's the son of God, sons of men, and the son of the wicked. That third part is Esau, Edom, and his rulership. Burning with it, cast into the sea, and the third part of the sea became blood. So all this kingdom, because that destroying mountain, which is, I want to hurry up and get it because I got to finish, but it's in Jeremiah, I believe, the 51st chapter, verse 25. The destroying mountain is Esau, this kingdom. Those mountains are likened onto rulership. So that's the one, because the Lord is going to go against Babylon the Great. It's going to be destroyed. And a third part of the creature, and that's why it says a third part, because that's their rulership. Because of riches, injuries got by deceit, the kingdom of heaven is translated to one people to the other. And the sea and the third part of the creatures were in the sea, and life and death, and the third part of the ships were destroyed. So the ships of Esau Edom, especially the ones that are going to be up in the sky trying to fight against the Lord and get their ass whooped. It's not even going to take. It's going to be laughable. And the third of the angels, and they fell a great star from heaven, burning all these freaking satellites and all these things, and then their rulership is going to be fallen, burning as it were a lamp, and fell upon the third part of the rivers and upon the fountains of water. And the name of the star was called Wormwood. So, like, if you look at a wormwood, let me make this bitter. If you look up the word, it makes it bitter, and it's gonna. Let me just grab it. I don't got time, so you can look it up on your own. Salaki, I just want to get through this. Actually, I just get it. Fuck it. And the name of the star which fell from the water and made the water bitter.
Absinthia.
Absinthia. Which is it'll make the water unable to be drunken. Because when that because it causes nuclear rain. Which when that nuclear winter happens, causes a nuclear rain, it's gonna make the water poisonous. Like, if you ever seen the movie The Rain, or anything that's touch it, it's gonna be like that. It's a show, I mean. And the third part of the water became wormwood, and many men died of the water because of that nuclear radiation. And the fourth angel sounded, and the third sun was smitten, and the third of the part of the moon, and Salakia, and the sun was spitting, and the third part of the moon, and the sun and the moon, that is likened to understanding. So there's going to be understanding that is going to go forth. The wicked's understanding, which is the left-hand side, is going to be no more. It's going to fall. That's what the third part. And darkened in the day shone for the third part of it, and the night likewise. And behold, I heard an angel flying through the midst of heaven, saying with a loud voice, woe, woe, like just as Ezra said, woe is me, who shall deliver me out of these days? Who shall deliver? To the inhabitants of the earth by the reason of other voices in the trumpet of the three angels which yet sound. So this is who's going to deliver us. Now we're going to have that fortress. But those ones that are going to be called upon in the twinkling of an eye, they're going to be delivered. Those are the ones that are doing this work. Those are the ones that are continuously being brotherly. Those are the ones that are doing all the things that the Lord put forth to be able to be delivered. So with that, I want to give all glory, honors, and praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakak Wadash, the Wadi Yah, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, and Shalom.